So today we're going to be watching the live interview of Donald Trump by Elon Musk on his platform X, aka Twitter. If you don't know, Donald Trump quit Twitter a while ago to start his own social media platform, Truth Social. It is obviously bad for Truth Social, which pretty much exists entirely for Donald Trump's posts when he starts posting on Twitter. So the stock had a jolt down today. I mean, this is all once he announced the interview. This space is already breaking down. I repeat, the Twitter space is already breaking. No, it says I can't join this space because I'm already in a space. I'm not in a space! Twitter, X, Grok, Elon. Hey, don't hurt Elon's feelings. You know what's funny? Speaking of hurting Elon's feelings, apparently he can bounce back because not very long ago, Donald Trump said, when Elon Musk came to the White House asking me for help on all of his many subsidized projects, whether it's electric cars that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere, without which subsidies he'd be worthless, and telling me how he's a big Trump fan and a Republican, I could have said, drop to your knees and beg, and he would have done it. But now they're tight. This is real. And then Elon, in response, said Donald Trump is an old man yelling at a cloud and should not run again. Now that we're down to the wire, they're best friends. Also, Elon Musk, just to be super clear, I am not donating money to either candidate for US president. And then we see this clip.
Elon endorsed me the other day, and I didn't even know this. He didn't even tell me about it. Gives me $45 million a month.
Just fucking interesting, bro. That's a quick change. And I can't help but think that this beef is being settled so quickly and this stance is being changed so quickly, in part because of this. Tesla's sales are slowing rapidly. The stock peaked in 2021. Now it's way down. Sales are way down. Look, this is every other car company total returns over the last year. Toyota's up, Ferrari's up, BMW's up, Tesla's down. In fact, at one point, this has changed slightly since I updated this slide, but at one point recently, if you were to go to the S&P 500 top 500 companies in America and look at their year-to-date returns for 2024, number one, SMC. Number two, NVIDIA. Go down and 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 down. And at the very bottom, 503 out of 500, the worst performing stock of the whole year in the S&P 500, Tesla. Now it's now up. I think it's at 462. Big win for Elon. Intel went worse. I think Nike went worse. Boeing went worse. 462, not a great year. So understand that there's a lot at stake here. And I don't think I think he's a little brain rotted, but I do think a lot of it has to do with the business implications he has of getting Trump into office. And I think it comes down to the fact that this is not doing well and all the rest of his businesses are backed by the fact that Tesla needs to keep working, needs to have like an extremely highly valued stock because it's all backed by that. And this year has been really bad news for Tesla. Tons of price cuts. They've been in this price war where in order to keep sales numbers from slowing too much, they've been rapidly cutting the price. But that has some knock-on effects. Again, they cut it once, they cut it twice, they cut it a third time. They kept cutting it. And the idea is to get rid of all the inventory. And if you're trying to buy Tesla, it's good news. But if you're trying to invest in Tesla stock, it's bad news because they're making less and less money per car and still selling less cars. Like, this is the only sales spike they got from cutting the price this many times. Again, Teslas are fine cars. I've never knocked the car output of Tesla. I've often thought the company's overvalued, but it feels like the market is starting to wake up to that fact. Latest Tesla product looks desperate. Keeps cutting prices. Wall Street is worried. A sign that its grip on the EV market is slipping. And if you're an owner of a Tesla, it kind of sucks for you because the used price, if you ever want to resell or trade in your car, has basically halved. Actually, it's lower than this. This is the end of November 23. It's actually so much lower than this now. Sales of Tesla in many markets are down, but I will say this. All of this chaos has caused one thing to go up. Tesla's reputation in China is slightly higher than it was last year. This is big. It's only slightly down in Sweden, Australia, the UK, Netherlands, Canada, and the US. In all of these markets, Tesla's reputation, when polled with consumers, is down.
Which it attributed in part to CEO Elon Musk's polarizing persona.
So part of it is just the fact that the price cuts make it less valuable, the fact that there's other competition. But part of it, as you may have noticed, is that he's become a very polarizing figure. Again, Tesla doesn't spend much on marketing. Their marketing has always been Elon Musk's personality and profile himself. Now that he is so off-putting to a lot of people, it's actually beginning to damage Tesla's sales and brand. The time it takes for one car to sell on dealers' lots have gone from 25 days to just to 72 days. It sits on the lot. So there's a lot of problems. In South Korea, the Model Y sales in September, 4,000 cars sold. In January, they sold one. I'm not saying it's the end of the Tesla. I'm not saying it's the end of the world. I'm just saying, like, clearly it's not an uptrend. We're seeing slowdowns in almost every market. We're seeing worse consumer responses to Tesla brand. And he is tripling down on the idea that if he can get Donald Trump into office by spending a lot of money, again, he's donating directly to him and then also funding a super PAC that is supposed to get 800,000 people registered in swing states to vote for Trump. That's like what he's working on. So he's got this plan to get him into office and hopefully get favors, but whether that works out remains to be seen. You know, this year's been pretty good for big 7 tech stocks, right? Been pretty damn good. Everyone knows that. For example, you might know that Nvidia reached its all-time peak not too long ago, mid-24. Google reached its all-time peak not too long ago, mid-24. Amazon reached its all-time peak back from this. Microsoft reached its all-time peak higher than ever. Tesla reached its all-time peak in 2021. Has never come close since. They call it part of the Mag 7, but there's nothing, it's not even close to the rest of them, dude. It's the Mag 6 and this guy. It's down 60% since then. You know how I first knew there was actual trouble at Tesla? There's always been Tesla haters. There's always been Tesla, oh mega god, it's the greatest company in the world. And I've always been kind of out of it. Listen, I like the cars. I say it's a little overvalued, but I don't talk about it too much. But when I knew there was trouble was when this guy, Ross Gerber, if you don't know who he is, he's like the world's biggest Tesla pumping stock bull. He's Tesla to the moon. I love Tesla. It's the greatest stock in the world. Just a long time supporter. A legendary Elon Glazer has been like talking a lot of shit lately. He's been talking a lot of shit. Tesla can't sell its cars due to Elon's behavior. He's been pissed. And when this guy is mad, you know it's truly gotten bad. He's like, wait, I'm sick of losing money since 2021. Let's stop blaming the Houthi rebels or German environmental terrorists or recession that never came or interest rates. Only one person responsible for this, Tesla. He's talking about Elon. Elon is saying that we're going to do robotaxis and that's the big future. Will the government allow them to do that? Who's liable for the accidents? Who's going to buy and operate them? Will they make money? This is the future of the company I'm betting on. A Tesla manager who was let go today described Elon Musk to me as a pigeon CEO. He comes in, shits all over us, and goes. We're having a problem. And the two ways out of it are this. This is what Elon's been saying. Number one, robo-taxis. This is what's going to get Tesla back on track. Outside of maybe getting Donald Trump to win and spending a lot of money on him. Self-driving taxis will power Tesla's growth. That's what's going to get them back to the Nvidia, the Google, the Amazon level, okay? And he thinks they can come out as soon as next year, okay? Which would be a pretty big deal. The only problem is, in case you didn't listen closely, this article's from 2019. This article's from 2019. I don't know about next year, but he said next year every year. The second thing that is supposed to come out is the Optimus robot. This is the big future of Tesla. This is so funny to me because listen, I've listened to a lot of Tesla earnings calls for many years. I have been a hater of the overvaluation of the stock since 2021. But that was whenever they were worth this much. They were worth more than every other car company combined. And I thought that shit is busted. I thought that doesn't make sense. I don't care how good the car is. It's not worth than every other car company in the world. But he's always been able to, ever since 2021, he's always been able to, whenever the sales are looking bad or things are not working, he goes on the earnings call and he promises some bullshit. He just says something crazy is about to happen. I'm going to do this or this or this. And the stock moons and it always works. He keeps doing it over and over, okay? This year, for the first time, I listened to that call and it didn't work. He talked about this robot and instead of all of the journalists and the stock analysts in there just fawning over him, they pushed back. They were asking tough questions. The stock didn't pop. By the way, this is what he said. We're going to have a robot. Everyone in the world is going to want one. like literally everyone. And there'll be robots in industry making stuff. I think the ratio of humanoid robots to humans will be at least 2 to 1, which means somewhere on the order of 10 billion robots, maybe 20 or 30 billion. And then later he said, yeah, we're gonna make a profit of about $1 trillion a year from that. That's just a kid making shit up. They haven't sold or made a single robot yet. They haven't sold one. And he's talking about how we're pretty soon gonna make $1 trillion a year in profit. Listen, this stuff used to work, but this time it finally didn't. The stock didn't pump. All the Tesla pumpers were like, I don't know, buddy. So he's kind of in desperation mode. It's not 100% there, but he's seeing the writing on the wall. Like, if sales don't pick up, he doesn't get some bailout from the government, he doesn't get some kind of tax credit, the winds are blowing against him. So that's why I think he's gotten so politically involved lately. And even though he says that the Optimus robot will come out next year, same thing as he said in 2019 for the Robotaxi, we remember that even if he does get it out super rushed next year, the last time he rushed a product to market was the Cybertruck, okay? Which is malfunctioning at an astounding rate. Because they desperately had to rush that out because of the time frame he promised. Again, this is a guy that bought it, a guy named Cyberstank that loves his Cybertruck until it was the worst delivery of his life. His truck died within 5 minutes of getting it. Cybertruck owners are complaining their new vehicles are rusting at an alarming rate. These 80,000 vehicles are developing corrosion and rust. So listen, I am not confident that these robots are gonna come out next year. And if they do, I don't think they're gonna be in a spot to start selling 20 to 30 billion of them, which means I don't see a lot of near-term catalysts for a big upswing in Tesla. All they've done so far that's good is sell a car, a good electric car. If they can get another one of those, which they haven't refreshed in a long time, maybe something can improve. But everything they're promising sounds bad. And I think they're focusing all on this political angle to try and find some way to salvage it, which is why we're back to this. Ideally, we'll have an Elon Musk-Trump interview here any second now, but I'm hearing that he's claiming he's getting DDoSed. I'm sure he's getting DDoSed, not the fact there's like 5 engineers left and they can't handle the traffic. There appears to be a massive DDoS attack on X, working on shutting it down. Worst case, we'll proceed with a smaller number of live listeners and post the conversation later. Oh, I'm in. I'm in. Bro, I'm in. Hey, can we all get a round of applause for Twitter's one engineer? He's covered in sweat and soot and blood. He's in the wires. Elon Musk literally beating him. Can you guys hear this?
Assassination attempt.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
You know, your actions after that assassination attempt were inspiring.
He just opened with a glaze.
What was it like for you?
Not pleasant. I said there was bullets flying over me. I said, how many people were killed? Because we had a massive crowd there, a tremendous, thousands and thousands of people, and there was no land. I mean, it was just
Elon just saying sure.
There was.
This is not a conversation. It's a.
He's an extraordinary shot.
He's trying to say something. And Trump's monologuing him.
He's never had anything like this.
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden, he has to act. He took aim very quickly and.
He's making his yes harder to try and get through. I've done this in meetings.
Well, dude,
this is actually miserable because it's just Trump with 9 paragraphs to every question and Musk saying, yeah, sure, yeah, sure, absolutely, sure.
You know, if somebody's like has a career in theft or robbery, I don't understand what's taking them so long to get here. I mean,
career in theft or robbery.
Why aren't more people who have a career in, bad things coming here sooner? Because it's
some people think this is the smartest man in the world. Can you believe this?
LA or New York.
There's people right now who will die. I'll take a bullet for the idea that this is the smartest man in the world talking.
In a lot of places in America have
killed them.
Oh, now we go. Here we go. Economics. Let's talk.
The inflation. It doesn't matter what you make. The inflation has eaten you alive. If you're a worker,
this is true. It is from 30 years of government printing, and especially from COVID stimulus from you and Biden, both of you.
Borrowing, we have to bring energy prices down. Energy started it. The price of gasoline, when that comes down, and we're going to drill, baby, drill. You know, they stopped drilling.
Bro, we've been drilling.
They went back to drilling
we've been drilling.
The Trump policy.
America, #1 exporter of oil. Under Biden, #1 exporter of oil. What is he advocating?
But if you think about it, you'll have some of these states. I'll bet you'd have 30, 35 states.
Abolishing the Department of Education?
It would be unbelievable.
Yeah. If each state has to compete against other states, then people will naturally move to states where.
Oh, come on.
Better.
Well, like California, as we said, I got so many friends that
we're not turning all our state schools and the corporations competing with each other. People can't move states willy-nilly for their kids' schools. But that's crazy. That is what a billionaire would say, bro. This is the most unrelatable world's richest man shit I ever heard.
A lot of people
bring it back, Elon.
A lot of people concerned about inflation, and inflation is effectively a tax on people that save money and for people that are working day to day.
I love hearing the world's richest man talk about everyone's day to day.
Effective deregulation, like Reagan did a great job on deregulation in the 80s.
You're right.
It's been
Ronald Reagan did great. Rich man advocates for Ronald Reagan policies. News at 11.
Regulation. This is a really big point. You can actually have a conversation with you.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
And you can't have a conversation with Biden or Kamala. It's like it's not possible.
That's
if this is a conversation I had at a party, it would be the worst conversation I ever had. If someone cornered me at a party and talked like this, I'd kill myself. This is the worst conversation I've ever heard.
And I
got along with,
I got along with
so one-sided.
She is terrible. She's terrible. But she's getting a free ride. I saw a picture of her on Time Magazine today. She looks like the most beautiful actress ever to live. It was a drawing. And actually, she looked very much like our great First Lady, Melania.
Flirt?
Didn't look. She didn't look like Camilla. That's right. But of course, she's a beautiful woman. So we'll leave it at that, right?
People in America want to feel excited and inspired about the future. They want to feel like the future is going to be better than the past.
Bro, this has been the most fear-mongering about the future interview ever. You've been talking about World War III and a million rapists, murderers, migrants, and...
Mom, do you know, have any of your friends, been attacked or assaulted? And she said, yeah, 3 of her friends in 3 separate incidents were assaulted just in recent months, just walking around the streets of New York.
Did he say his mom got assaulted 3 times walking around New York?
They just let
3 of her friends.
They prosecute Trump.
Yeah, I mean, have we lost all pride?
This is just 2 super rich men making shit up.
How can such a thing be allowed to occur?
I've never seen anything.
Nothing is from personal experience. Everything is from
it's very dangerous.
Half-truths or whole cloth made up.
Very proud of, and they want to be able to do
a nightmare to listen to, bro.
So I appreciate it. I'll see you soon.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Elon. Thank you very much. Bye.
It's over! It's over! Wow. I don't know what to say about that. That was miserable. Nothing new or interesting. Or it was a stump speech and then Elon Musk pandering or throwing in a few things that he wanted. Yeah, it was bad, dude. I'm down. Listen, we'll do the same thing. I haven't seen a ton of long-form Kamala interviews, which I guess is a fair criticism. I would love to see a long-form one. We'll do the same thing, but unironically, that was terrible. I mean, that was terrible. That was really, really bad. There was nothing substantive in the whole conversation, and it was just the same stump speech talking points. And Elon Musk is so transparently obvious about just wanting government help to his business. He wants the contract for tunnels. He wants the tax credits for Tesla. And it's just very, very clearly related to the fact that Tesla's going through increasing amount of troubles, that their diehard stock pumpers are questioning, that the sales figures are down. So I don't know. I guess what did I like? I liked them talking about nuclear and that it's a good idea and that, that if they have to rebrand it to Elon Energy, whatever, I like that. I liked the general idea that, the economy is hitting average Americans really hard. I think that's under talked about. I think especially Biden was obviously shying away from any truth with that because it impacted his electability. But inflation has been a disaster for regular families. I haven't yet heard a policy from Trump that actually counteracts it. I think huge import tariffs will only exacerbate the problem. And to talk about him getting personal control over interest rates so he can bring them down would be incredibly dangerous. All I just hear is that he's going to fix every problem day one, but I don't hear how. And I don't think either of them can. So I'm kind of not happy with the choices, but what else? What else can I even talk up from that? I hated the constant fear mongering, constantly talking about the millions of rapists and murderers coming into your bedroom. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden want them there. The painting of them as the devil who have no interest in doing anything good for anyone. Their only goal is to make sure that some brown-skinned person can kill you. Trump did hit on Kamala. Did call her. Said she looked like the most beautiful woman. That was a little weird. That was odd. I don't know. I don't know. We're going to have a crazy election. It's such a coin flip, dude. I really don't know. It's such a coin flip. I saw a lot of polls lean Kamala recently, but I do think we got a few months to the election. I'm of the opinion that unemployment rate ticks up more since then. We get some bad economic news. People get angry. It might shift back. I think it's going to be a coin flip. It's going to be so close. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go.